Today, everything's been going really well. Civil's finished, fit out has started. It's looking really good down there. It's looking like an operational station coming into fruition.
We're standing in the north corridor of basement B2 at 9 Elms. We've completed the construction of the eastern superstructure and we're hoping to complete the western end of the superstructure by the end of May.
We've started on site at Battersea and 9 Elms with the station ventilation, the public health, the fire hydrant and sprinkler work and the tunnel ventilation works. So the fans for Battersea 9 Elms are currently being manufactured in their plant in Colchester.
Flatwoods, it's more than 100 years old company and we have a long involvement with Transport for London. We have supplied tunnel ventilation equipment for Jubilee line. We have supplied complete ventilation systems for refurbishing the Victoria line. And now we are supplying fans for Northern Line extension.
2 FAT tests have been completed for the east and west fans at Battersea, and then going forward in June as the FAT tests for the fans at 9 Elms, which will then allow them to be installed later on in the year.
We're now moving from mainly a civils job into a fit-out MEP project.
We are pressing forward with the construction of all our primary CMS. Now our CMS is quite pivotal to what we're doing because it allows us to run our installations and everything else.
There's one large piece of civil work still to be undertaken, and that's the western ramp, which I'm helping to manage here at Battersea. We're currently working with Flow to work out the best way forward on that to hit the deadlines that we've been asked to achieve. The idea is that come November 1st we hand over to Battersea Developments grid lines 1 to 11. So therefore it's essential that we complete the western ramp and put in the tunnel vent systems.
The running rails have now gone in all the tunnels.
We're currently installing the diamond crossing within the crossover box, so we've continued the concrete element connecting to our north and southbound tunnels. So we've got effectively a running track from Kennington right down to our overrun tunnels in the distance down here now. So the conductor rails still being installed as we speak.
And all rail and crossover should be completed by end of May, very early June.
So in the last 6 months, our focus has been on completing the eastern superstructure. That's what we see is behind us, and we've got some ongoing propping behind us, which is being struck to allow for the back of house rooms and block work to come together for our ground level works. So here we have our eastern superstructure. This is where our main ticket hall is at the front of the building. Behind that is a lot of our back of house station offices, and then at mezzanine level, we do then have all our mechanical plants. So that services a lot of the lower ground systems, which vents out at surface level. We've got a lot of people on site, so there's a lot of deliveries, a lot of coordination needs to go on behind the scenes before we start the shifts. So the contractors working very closely with each other to make sure we have a daily coordination briefings, weekly, monthly, and also making sure they're using their innovative system, which is Datascope, which allows them to phase deliveries and make sure that people have possession of areas without impeding other work sites.
All of the different subcontractors come together to talk about various health and safety issues that might be happening on the various sites across the sub-packages, and we have our interface with Flow manages all of the subcontracts, so they're responsible for the coordination of them. So they interact on site, all of the subcontractors, and they're managed very much by Flow to make sure they're not in the same section of the station on the same day trying to both install ductwork.
I manage the delivery of the communications and employers' obligations packages. So with regards to the communications packages, our scope of works is to deliver the emergency traction discharge system, formerly known as tunnel telephone, the tractor train CCTV system, the communication SCADA system, and also updates at Highgate Service Control Centre.
It's an exciting period of time. You're basically gone from conception to inception, and that's when you know that whatever you've put in and how much effort you've put into it, when it comes to inception, is it correct or is it wrong? That's the moment of truth.
next few months we will hopefully finish block work. We're approximately about 70% complete here at Battersea. Escalators are starting to be delivered come May. The idea is that they'll be delivered through the western entrance and then down to the track.
Over the next 6 months we're looking to have this station completely watertight with our fit-out contractors down here. We don't want to be installing equipment which is going to get damaged by water.
We plan in the next 6 months to commence the station cooling work packaging, which is basically the air conditioning at Nine Elms and Battersea. In the next 6 months as well, we plan to start on site at Kennington Green and Kennington Park with all of the mechanical packages.
2019 is the year that things are really starting to kick off for railway systems. It would be really important to keep the focus on managing those interfaces in 2019 and going into 2020 as works continue to be rolled out on site.
There's a lot of work to achieve between now, Engineers Railway, and bringing into use, and we all as a joined up group and joined up teams between Flow, our other contractors and ourselves need to make sure that we work together, coordinate with one another and make it happen.